Here at A.M. Leonard, your satisfaction is our top priority. Backed by an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Since 1885, we've delivered top quality professional tools and supplies across the country. With thousands of items ready to ship today, we'll make finding a solution fast and easy. Use our website or call. We have dedicated, friendly people ready to answer questions and help make your ordering as easy as possible. Order before 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on weekdays and your order ships that same day. The GT3 Professional Grafting Tool delivers consistent cuts for orchards, nurseries, and the avid plant lover. Works efficiently to cut and prepare branches for grafting. This unique grafting tool is for materials up to a ½ inch in diameter. It delivers uniform cuts for faster, more consistent grafts. Includes 3 blades for different techniques. First, the V-cut, simple and effective. With a quick swap of the blade and anvil, you'll be set to use the second style, the Omega cut. The Omega cut forms a nice key-locking type cut with lots of surface area. And finally we have the budding cut. This blade and anvil setup cleanly cuts a section of branch for the ideal grafting of buds. These 3 crucial grafting cuts are made simple, safe, and effective when used in conjunction with grafting wax, tapes, or ties. Call or order online today.
Hi, I'm Nate, and today we're going to talk about our 16F Corona pole pruner and saw. This pole pruner and saw combo is ideal for trimming branches and cutting limbs from the ground. With its compound lever action, you'll get maximum cutting power with minimum effort, allowing you to cut branches up to 1 3/4 inch thick. Designed for professionals, the drop-forged steel construction, heavy-gauge braided cord, and light but durable fiberglass poles will stand up to the toughest jobs. Need to cut something bigger? Quickly switch to the saw blade attachment and watch as the aggressive teeth and curved blade design chew through tough branches with ease. The included 6-foot fiberglass poles are light and rigid and lock together to give you plenty of reach for those tough-to-get-to branches. We think you'll agree the 16F Corona pole pruner and saw from A.M. Leonard gets the job done. Call or order online today.
All those hours of back-breaking work are a thing of the past with this handy gadget. Just roll the nut wizard over fruits, nuts, or other objects lying on the ground, and the spring wire head will trap them inside the wire cage. When it's full, simply spread the wire using the supplied wire dumper. Dumper attaches to a 5-gallon bucket or box. Don't limit your imagination. Use the nut wizard to pick up golf, tennis, and baseballs, all sorts of nuts, apples, oranges, lemons, and so much more. You'll be amazed just how easy and fun clearing your yard will be with the nut wizard.
Replacing an old cutting blade on your 2-fell pruners is quick and easy. First, you will remove the spring. Next, you'll loosen the top gear locking screw with a flathead screwdriver or small adjustable wrench. After that, you can take off the pivot bolt nut. This nut should come loose by hand. If not, you will need an adjustable wrench. Once you have the pivot bolt removed, the handles will come apart and the blade can be removed. Now is a perfect time to clean up your pruner with a quick scrubbing from a wire brush. Now you can place the new blade on the pruners, aligning with the 3 pins. At this point, you will want to make sure your pruners are well lubricated. We are using Felco's recommended spray, item number F980. Once lubricated, you can put the pruners back together. Place the pivot bolt back through the pruners and then screw on the pivot nut firmly by hand. Be careful not to over-tighten, as this will cause the pruners to move sluggishly. Next, replace the locking nut gear, interlocking its teeth with those of the pivot nut. Now tighten the screw to hold everything in place. Lastly, you will place the spring between the pruners and you're ready to prune.
Hi, I'm Nate, and today with the help of some friends, we're going to show you a fast and easy way to cover your hoop houses in Overwinter Plus film. To start, as usual, carefully cut open your rolls of poly.
So we use the wrapper here to protect the corners, because it will catch on these corners here since there's the wiggle wire and some of the bottom cams sticking out.
Be sure to check the path between your houses for any objects, loose fabric pins, etc. that might snag your poly as you roll it out. Next, having thrown ropes over the hoop house, the guys are tying knots to 3 points on the poly sheet. 1 on each end and 1 in the middle.
So in the middle here, pull it together. Something we can tie the rope around. We loop it around a few times. Spin the poly back down over. Loop it again. We just flip it over. Make it so it's easy for them to get back off when he goes to do this. But with the wet bows, we do have to fluff it from this side, otherwise it sticks like glue.
Once the knots are tied, the three-man team on the other side of the hoop house begin to pull while the poly is being fluffed from the sending side. This fluffing action keeps the poly from sticking to the morning dew that has condensed on the hoop house bows.
And then once everybody's untied, we take the four corners and we pull in opposite directions to make a nice straight line. What we do is we use one of these folds and we'll line it up so we got enough hanging over on either side.
Once the first layer, in this case 2.5 mil Overwinter Plus film, is aligned, several securing bars are placed before the second layer is put on. The second layer, in this case used for insulation so the guys can grow all year round, is 3 mil Overwinter Plus. The 3 mil OW Plus provides the strength to overcome the Indiana winters and is removed in spring, leaving the 2.5 mil first layer to provide protection from the cold until removed in late May or June. This combination of 2.5 and 3 mil OW Plus has replaced this grower's previous installation of 2 layers of 4 mil regular OW, saving them considerably in cost while still providing increased security from the weather. Once in place, the second layer is aligned and secured. Excess poly is cut from the sides and the ends are secured with a wiggle wire and channel as usual. Hi, I'm Nate, and today we're going to talk about shovels. That may sound pretty basic, and you might be thinking they're all the same, but there's more to picking out the right shovel for you than you might think. There are literally hundreds of styles of shovel out there. Let's look at a few of the basics of shovel design to help you choose the shovel that's right for you. Let's start with the business end of the shovel, the blade. The three most common blade types to consider are open back, closed back, and forged. Let's start with the open back blade. Open back blades are probably the most common shovel blade available, and the lightest design. They are the entry level to shovel design. Open back shovels get their name from being stamped into shape, which leaves this distinctive open back. Low in weight and more affordable, open back shovels are good for light duty use. Next, we have closed back blades. Closed back blades are the first step into professional grade shovels and are in the middle of the weight range of shovels. The blades have a flat back due to the addition of this extra welded plate. This plate adds strength and rigidity while providing a flat, smooth surface that prevents added weight of soil buildup, important when working in clay. Next, we have forged blade shovels. Forged blade shovels are the real workhorse of all shovels. They are the heaviest and truly the professional grade choice for shovels. The blade is formed from a single piece of steel under great pressure, resulting in the strongest and thickest sockets, shanks, and blades. The forging process provides varying steel thickness, not possible in stamped designs. These blades offer increased thickness at critical stress areas, then thin toward the edge for soil cutting performance. Okay, now let's move on to the blade shape. The shape of the shovel blade dictates the type of work it can be used for. You'll probably find that the round point shovel is the most versatile blade design, but we believe that everyone should have at least one square point and one round point shovel in the shed. Square point shovels are ideal for scraping or scooping up soil, debris, gravel, sawdust from a hard surface, as well as moving bulk piles of soil, gravel, and other loose material, but they are not intended for digging. Next, we have round point shovels. Round point shovels are good for digging and planting, but also work well for moving bulk piles of loose material like soil, mulch, and gravel. Next, we need to discuss a much underestimated and overlooked aspects of shovel: lift. Blade lift and handle lift are crucial design features to factor in when picking a shovel. I have here two different shovel designs to show the difference between low lift and high lift, this being a low lift shovel and this being a high lift shovel. Low lift shovels have a very flat and nearly vertical design. You can see how the handle is kept more directly in line with the body, allowing the user's weight to push down, not only with his feet, but with his arms as well. This design is ideal for digging, transplanting, dividing perennials, or redefining landscape beds. It is also good for scooping from a higher position to a lower one, like from the back of a truck while standing on the ground. High lift shovels are the most common shovel, and you can find them in almost any store. They're good for scooping and moving materials from a low position to a higher one, like from the ground to a wheelbarrow, or for cleaning out the bottom of a planting hole. The higher lift allows the user to stay in a more upright position while scooping, saving strain on the back. However, when it comes to digging straight down, high lift is not ideal because the handle is much further away from the user. Delivering power down into the ground is more difficult with this design. And finally, don't forget handle construction. Some prefer the look and feel of a wood handle, while others like the durability of a composite, fiberglass, or steel handle. Each design has its merits. Wood is light and contoured for a better grip. Composites are more durable and weather resistant. Fiberglass has increased rigidity, while steel handles are the strongest and longest lasting. In addition to these different handle materials, there are also handle lengths to consider, such as the shorter D-grip handle for tighter areas. Well, I hope this video was helpful and that maybe you learned a little something about shovels that you didn't already know. If you still have questions about shovels and which one would be right for you or your job, give us a call and talk to one of our friendly staff who would be happy to help. Thanks for watching and happy shoveling.
So this customer had a bed, they wanted some permanent edging installed around. I like to go ahead and install it before mulching. That way we get a nice clean finish to everything once we start putting mulch down. For this edging, I turned a bender board, which you'll see here is very quick and easy to install. So we're installing some bender board landscape edging. A.M. Leonard offers 50-foot kits. The bender board by Epic Plastics is a great landscape edging option. I like that it's recycled. It's eco-friendly and really sustainable process that they have for using post-consumer recycled plastic material to make a really high-quality landscape edging. So that's just cool in itself. And another reason to use it is that it's really safe for pets, and if you have kids that are running around barefoot in your yard and stuff like that, it really gives you some peace of mind that there's not a jagged, piece of metal edging sticking up. So it's really flexible, creates some really cool curves, has slip joints in it, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. It can be cut and assembled with just common woodworking tools. I have an impact drill and a circular saw that I use to trim this edge off. We're gonna set the first couple stakes here and take off with the rest of it. So I really like how this installs. Got my A.M. Leonard dead blow hammer here, and just gonna drive this first stake in. The look we want to have is kind of matching up even with this wall, and we'll drive the stake down a little bit more. I like to get the stake a little bit installed and drill things in and then hammer the whole piece in. Each kit, 50-foot kit, comes with 5 10-foot pieces of edging per bundle and 20 stakes, so about 4 stakes per piece of edging. Here you see the slip joint, which is a pretty handy feature that Epic designed their edging with. We're going to put 2 stakes in right here. We're not going to drill the slip joint together. We want to leave about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch gap there to allow the edging to shift and not spike up out of the ground. So this is an awesome feature about this edging, because if you do get some starting to lift out of the ground with like a harsh freeze thaw like we have here in Ohio, you can always just come back with your mallet and tap them back into the ground and tap this even again. So really handy way they designed their edging here. Forgot to mention the screws. We send a box, 1-pound box of decking screws to come with each kit, and that's what you use to fasten the stakes on. So it's gonna hammer it down so it's a little bit below grade. Take our fasteners. We know the mulch is gonna come up over the top of this stake, so don't waste any time installing the stakes. We're gonna end the curve into the house here. We want to give it a nice curve. We're gonna angle it so it's easy to mow around. So I'm just gonna set it up here. We want to use this end at the slip joint, obviously, but we're gonna mark how much we need. Then we'll flip it over to install it. So we're just gonna kind of set it in here like how we want it, so we know how much we need, and Nate's gonna score it with his knife. Then we'll just trim that off.
Hi guys, today I'd like to talk about our Speed Feed High Capacity Universal Trimmer Head. Now anyone who's ever used a string trimmer knows the frustration of having to replace or restring trimmer line. With the high-speed trimmer head, that frustration is a thing of the past. The Speed Feed trimmer head fits most major string trimmer brands and comes with all the necessary parts to adapt to your string trimmer. Now, the Speed Feed trimmer head comes preloaded with string from the manufacturer, but for the video here, I'll show you just how easy it is to load string and get back to trimming. Simply align the arrows on the upper disc with the eyelet holes of the drum and insert up to 10 feet of string. Push the line through the head until the speed feed is roughly in the middle of your line. Once there, simply turn the upper disc clockwise until about 5 inches of string remains on each side. It's that easy, and just that fast, you're loaded and ready to go. Call or order online today. Hi guys, today we're going to talk about our poly-tray wheelbarrows. Now we offer 3 different sizes, a 6, an 8, and a 10 cubic foot tray. But today we're just going to talk about our 6 cubic foot tray. Now let's just start with talking about the tray itself. This exceptionally strong tray is impact resistant and much lighter than the standard steel wheelbarrow tray. This allows you to put more of your energy into moving material and less into moving the wheelbarrow itself. All of our poly-tray wheelbarrows come with solid, heavy stock 60-inch hardwood handles, giving you more leverage and support you'll know you can count on. This model happens to feature a flat freewheel, which has obvious advantages on the worksite, but all models feature a ball bearing wheel and an extra wide footprint. This exceptional width delivers more stability with heavy loads over soft or muddy terrain, yet doesn't diminish maneuverability. Heavy gauge frame, supports, and wide carriage bolts provide a rigid platform that offers enough support to handle up to a 500-pound load. The unique nose brace / toe ring is an excellent point to hitch on a pull rope for added help going up a hill or ramp. All of these features add up to one tough wheelbarrow, and of course, our wheelbarrows carry our lifetime warranty.
A rugged kick-type sod cutter that really moves. Cuts up to 30 feet of sod in 40 seconds. Cuts uniform 12-inch strips quickly and smoothly. Cutting depth is set at 2 1/4 inches, but can be set deeper by loosening the metal straps and dropping the blade. A shallower cut can be accomplished by manually holding the handles higher as you cut. Parts include nylon bearings, one-piece welded frame, and varnished 47-inch hardwood handles. Blade is heat treated for a sharp and long-lasting edge. The Quail manual kick-type sod cutter edger can handle small to big jobs for homeowners, landscapers, and grounds maintenance crews.
The Leonard All-Poly Scoop Fork. Low in weight, high in toughness. The Leonard Poly Scoop is a totally new, exclusive design featuring all poly construction that reduces tool weight yet tackles moving mulch at a record pace. Designed with a generous D-grip and beveled tines that pierce through mulch piles, straw, compost, leaves, and more. Made in the USA with a lifetime warranty. Moves materials fast, won't rust, won't mar surfaces, 40% less weight than standard forks. Tough enough for the task, and then some.
Our Leonard All-Steel spades remain a tried and true favorite among professional landscapers, growers, and maintenance workers across the country. Made of strong alloy steel, these heat-treated blades offer great tensile strength and are outfitted with turn steps which easily accept our AMFP rubber foot pads for even more comfort. Flat back design reduces soil buildup, and the steeply tapered blade edge makes short work of roots and stubborn soil and can be sharpened for even greater cutting ability. Fully welded D-grip is perfectly designed for comfort, even with gloved hands. 4 models to choose from, all steel from top to bottom, and all covered by a lifetime warranty. Call or order online today. Hi, I'm Nate, and today I'd like to talk about our all-new ball cart accessories that transforms your Leonard 22 Series tough truck into an adaptable moving machine. This bolt-on system is quick and easy to install. It all starts with this, the universal mounting bracket. This powder-coated heavy wall 2-inch square tubing is welded to a thick 3/16-inch mounting plate. Bracket quickly U-bolts to your cart's cross brace and axle housing. Includes a 5/8 inch bent clevis and hairpin cotter. Once installed, you just leave it, allowing you to use the cart as is or with the added attachments. Once you have your universal bracket mounted, you're ready to start using your attachments. First, we have our new caster wheel. This handy attachment turns your cart from a 2-wheeler to a 3-wheeler, instantly providing more stability and ease of use. Let's say you want to move something a little bigger. Well, for that, we've come up with this, the T-bar attachment. This 60-inch wide handle allows for multiple users in multiple positions for better leverage against those really heavy trees. Features powder-coated 2-inch square tubing with a 1 1/4 inch 12-gauge handle and double-dipped vinyl grips. It can be a long walk at some job sites, especially when you're moving an 800-pound tree. So to solve that problem, we came up with this, the trailer hitch attachment. The hitch mount is designed to tip, allowing for easy loading and unloading of tree stock. The hitch attachment connects to the receiver bracket of your gator or tractor, creating a trailer system for those heavy hauls. We think you'll find these heavy-duty, USA-made attachments not only make your job easier, but increase the value and versatility of your Leonard tough trucks. Call or order online today.
Our root pouches are made from recycled natural fibers mixed with recycled plastic bottles, otherwise destined for landfills. Each pouch is a lightweight and breathable fabric container that can be used in your garden, yard, or home. These fabric pots are wonderful for plants, roots, can cool in summer, and not suffocate from overwatering. The fabric material lets water permeate so there's sufficient drainage without holes in the pot. Plus, they're washable and reusable, or you can just compost them when done. Choose from different sizes to match your desired usage. Our Leonard AR20 and AR32 Arborane hydration systems are easy to install and provide a great alternative for deep watering of newly planted trees and shrubs. Available in 20 or 32-gallon models for slow release watering over a period of 5 to 8 hours, allowing water to permeate deep into the soil, hydrating both root ball and surrounding soil for complete coverage. Both Arborane models feature a low-profile design which blends better with its natural surroundings, while the dark brown color dramatically reduces its visibility when used over dark mulches. Features easy fill port with screw-on cap and Velcro strap to prevent blowaway when empty. Give that new transplant or thirsty tree in your yard the water it craves with the Leonard Arborane. The Leonard AP345 Poly Scoop Shovel. This revolutionary poly scoop is great in the snow too. While not specifically designed for snow removal, our scoop, with its poly construction and long handle, make it a great addition to your snow removal gear. Longer reach reduces bending during scooping, and the high-impact poly-molded construction with fiberglass core handle is strong enough to scoop away snow and ice. And because it's a poly scoop, snow just slides right off. It virtually never sticks. One-piece molded poly construction means it will never rust, rot, or break. Holds up to extreme weather conditions as well. Safe to use on any surface, and it comes with a lifetime warranty. Call or order online today.
Hi, I'm Nate, and today I'd like to talk about the newest member to the AIM Leonard line of tools, the all-new Leonard stainless steel soil tool. Our new hybrid soil tools blade is tapered with a flat, sharpened spading tip that cuts easily into soil. Excellent for creating small planting holes and digging deep to remove weeds. The mildly serrated cutting edge cuts creeping grasses for defined landscape edges and is just as easily capable of dividing perennials. The Leonard soil tool features a stout 7-inch blade with stamped-in depth markings to 6 inches. Slightly deeper blade curve than our popular 4752 soil knife, the added blade depth towards the handle allows for increased volume of material while scooping. Customers' input inspired a longer handle for our new tool. The 1 1/4 inch diameter handle measures 6 inches in length, which also offers enough room for a second hand to tackle those really tough tasks. The new curved handle allows for multiple hand positions, increasing your comfort and effectiveness in the field. The knuckle guard, incorporated into the handle, adds protection from rocks and roots while digging. 13 inches overall length and heat-treated stainless steel blade that's capable of withstanding up to 300 pounds of force, and all with a lifetime warranty. We think you'll find this tool to be a valuable addition to your tool bucket. Call or order online today. Our new lopper design delivers ultimate control and power to cut limbs up to 1.5 inches in diameter without bruising. The replaceable cutting blades have a sharp 4-inch cutting edge and are made of SK5 high carbon steel, which have been hard chrome plated to resist rust and last a lifetime. Strong tubular aluminum alloy handles have comfortable molded composite grips for ease of use. Whether you choose our 20, 24, or 28-inch lopper, we think you'll agree they really get the job done, and all backed by a lifetime warranty. Call or order online today. Hi, I'm Nate, and today I'd like to talk about our new Leonard curved lift ball carts. These smaller carts are ideal for nursery and landscape operations year-round. Their small profile and two-piece construction means they ship UPS ground instead of motor freight, a convenient delivery option with a reduced cost for smaller orders. And the quality construction and hardware means the frame strength isn't compromised by this design. The frames for our curved lift carts are proudly made here in the USA and are constructed of 1-inch diameter 14-gauge steel tubing with solid 3/4-inch supports and 3/16-inch thick back straps, which are welded together to offer a stout 800-pound working capacity, all rolling on a 3/4-inch thick solid steel axle and sealed ball bearing wheels. Your choice of pneumatic or flat-free tires. The height of our cart and low axle position come together to provide excellent leverage against heavy materials, while the narrow 32-inch width makes them ideal for fitting through gates and other tight spaces, but doesn't limit them from carrying some pretty hefty loads. Whether it's B&B stock, container stock, landscape stones, or just general moving projects, the Leonard Curved Lift Ball Cart will serve you well and all backed by a lifetime warranty. Call or order online today. Today we're going to talk about the 6 steps to determine the deer fencing you need. Step number 1. The first step to choosing the right deer fencing for you is to determine what height you need. You can choose from 4, 6, 6.5, or 7.5 foot fencing. 7.5 feet high with a 1 3/4 by 2-inch mesh is going to be your best choice for deer control. Choose the smaller 3 1/4 by 1-inch mesh for smaller pests. Step number 2. Next, you'll want to determine how much fencing you'll need. Measure the linear footage with a tape measure or measuring wheel, the perimeter of the area you want to protect. This measurement is used to determine almost every aspect of your deer fencing needs. Step number 3. Now that you have the linear footage of the area you want to protect, we can determine how many fence posts you'll need. You can do this by taking the total linear footage around your protected area and dividing it by 20. Along with this, consider how many corner posts, end posts, or gates you'll need for your area. Step number 4. Next, you'll want to calculate how much monofilament you'll require. Monofilament is the wire that runs along the top and bottom of your fence to hold it up. While 12-gauge monofilament is available, we recommend using the heavier 8-gauge filament. To determine how much filament you'll need, multiply your linear footage by 2. Also, you should figure on 7 to 8 self-locking ties for each post, including any corners, ends, and gates. Step number 5. Let's figure out how many accessories you'll need. You should add 1 tightener per line of monofilament wire per side. Each side has 2 wires, top and bottom. For example, if you have a basic square area, you'll have 2 tighteners for each side, equaling 8 total tighteners. Use sleeves to secure the monofilament wire on all corners and ends using this crimping tool to secure them. Step number 6. Finally, you'll need to take your total linear footage and divide it by 5 to figure out how many bottom ground stakes you'll need to secure your fence down, which will aid in the prevention of any push-unders. This may seem like a complex task, but once you break it down into the basic steps, you'll find it's an easy do-it-yourself project. This video is intended to give you a basic understanding of deer fencing needs, and every situation is different. If your scenario is a little more complicated, or if you have questions, call one of our friendly service reps who'll be glad to help answer your questions and get you set up with exactly what you need. Thanks for watching.
With our garden scoot, tedious chores like weeding, harvesting, and washing the car just got easier. You won't have to strain your back, kneeling, squatting, or stooping in the garden or while doing chores anymore. The comfortable tractor-style seat adjusts from 16 inches to 20 inches high. With the new flat-free polyurethane tires, the scooter will always be ready when you are. Increased storage basket will now accommodate a small tub truck or 5-gallon bucket for maximum versatility. The redesigned steering is easier to operate even while seated on all types of surfaces. Additional storage for small tools and supplies is just beneath the seat, right where you need it. All of these features add up to one useful tool. How will you use your garden scoot?
With easy grain size adjustment, you can go from spreading fertilizer in fall to spreading ice melt in winter. Our Leonard brand spreaders include a handy moisture cover to protect against snow and rain, keeping your ice melts from clumping in nasty weather. Our AM100 with corrosion-resistant stainless steel frame is ideal for professional use all year round. Large poly hopper is cold resistant and holds up to 100 pounds of material, which means you won't have to keep running to the truck for a refill. With its optional side deflector shown here, the AM100 is ideal for use on sidewalks around businesses and homes, and even casts a large enough spread for small driveways and parking lots. And with quick on-off controls, your ice melt won't go to waste. Large pneumatic tires provide grip even on snow. See more of our spreaders online at...
Hi, I'm Nate, and today I'm going to show you how to put a sheath on the new Leonard belt. Step 1 is to remove the plastic snap and adjuster buckle from the belt. This is the snap and this is the adjuster buckle. Okay, once the plastic snap and adjuster buckle are removed, we'll begin by threading our nylon belt through your desired sheath or other accessory. All right, step 2. Once the sheath has been added to the belt, rethread the nylon belt through the adjuster buckle like so. All right, step 3, rethread the snap clip. Start with the outer slot, go up, over, and through the inner slot, like that. Step 4 is to take the nylon end, run it through the adjuster buckle, inside the loop, and then back down through the other side. And there we have it. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.
Too much to keep track of? Too many things to remember? Can't find those supplies? Does this sound like you? Don't spend your days digging for notes and searching through endless resource material. To get organized, you need an assistant. You need an AM Leonard account manager. With an AM Leonard account manager, you won't have to worry about remembering those seasonal orders or sourcing those hard-to-find supplies anymore. Forget the notes. Our account managers are a friendly, knowledgeable, single point of contact who have access to over 600 vendors in the industry. And with over 10,000 items in stock, many of your tools and supplies ship same day. If you spend over $5,000 in horticultural tools and supplies a year, an AM Leonard account manager is just the assistant you've been looking for. An assistant you don't have to have on payroll. We'll remember what you ordered last year. We'll remember that favorite tool your crew really likes. And we'll make sure the supplies you need arrive on site and on time. You'll be amazed at the difference an account manager can make in your life. We'll take it from here, giving you more time to get back to focusing on the big picture, your business. Call today. During the late 1980s, AM Leonard saw a change in U.S. tool manufacturers. With the advent of big box stores, more emphasis was being put on developing tools with price points that would meet the needs of these mass merchants. Unfortunately, this resulted in less selection and less overall quality. AM Leonard saw this change as an opportunity to fill a growing need. As a result, Howard Kyle and his grandson Greg Stevens started a worldwide search for manufacturers that could provide the professional quality and features that their customers had come to expect. They soon identified and built relationships with companies that could provide these qualities and features. From hometown fabricators in the US to small villages across Europe to high-tech manufacturers in the Pacific Rim, they were able to design and produce a line of tools that was worthy of the AM Leonard name. Today, the ever-growing AM Leonard line of tools continues to offer the quality and features that most manufacturers aren't willing to make, and all backed by a lifetime warranty.
Dating back to the Bronze Age, the Matic remains one of the most useful and versatile hand tools man has ever created. And AM Leonard is adding to that history with its heavy-duty line of picks and matics. The Leonard line of picks and matics are available in hickory for that classic wood feel, or an injection molded handle constructed with a solid core which has thousands of fiberglass strands and a unique resin making it super strong, as well as weather and chemical resistant, featuring an easy grip handle allowing you to put more power into your swing. These heavy-duty forged heads tackle tough jobs like breaking hard, rocky ground, cutting roots, digging small trenches, and more. There's no job too tough for these tools. So when a shovel just won't cut it, swing into the job with a Leonard pick or mattock, and they're all backed by a lifetime warranty. Call or order online today.
Our latest addition to the line is the optional nose guard, which gives you real peace of mind knowing that you or your crew aren't going to scratch up anyone's concrete or pavers while tipping the wheelbarrow. The last thing you want to deal with is damaging someone's hardscaping. Also, this durable poly material adds grip to the nose and offers a smooth rolling action while pouring heavy loads. It installs easily and lasts for years and years. AM Leonard offers a full line of wheelbarrows from 6 cubic foot poly or steel tray all the way up to our monster 10 cubic foot poly tray wheelbarrow. Poly trays are great for their durability, for being lightweight. Our trays feature thick poly construction that can really take a beating. We've actually dialed this in to have a perfect strength to weight ratio. Within that, we offer a wide range of options from flat free wheels, pneumatic wheels, to wood handles, steel handles, even a black tray option for our popular 6 cubic foot tray wheelbarrow. For this job, we're going to be using our 8 cubic foot wheelbarrows. I like the 8 because it's good balance between moving plenty of material and the maneuverability. Over the years, we've continued to improve our wheelbarrows. One of the latest improvements is the addition of a fully welded frame that fits under the tray of the wheelbarrow. This comes standard on all of our wheelbarrows. This angle iron frame ties the handles together, and this prevents any torque or twisting that's common on poly tray wheelbarrows when you have a heavy load in it. You'll notice a lot of other brands, if you have a lot of material in them and you're in an uneven area, you'll feel it shift, and it can almost sometimes lead to tipping the wheelbarrow. So this really improves the handling. Our wheelbarrows also have tubular steel tray supports in the front. These are more rigid and durable than the flat supports that are more susceptible to bending. From there, you can choose from steel handles, traditional wood handles. Your next options to choose from are flat free options for the tires or the classic pneumatic wheels. Both are professional grade with smooth riding bearings. We offer both wide and narrow tire options. It really comes down to preference. The wide tires, they do spread the weight more evenly, and they're great in soft areas, soft turf, so you're not going to rut up anyone's yard, while the narrow wheels are lighter and a lot more maneuverable.
This is Lenny. Lenny plays an important role at his company. With limited time and support, how does he manage his responsibilities? Like his company's nursery growing supply needs, their poly grow film, fertilizer, and irrigation needs. How about coordinating the arrival of his landscaping crew's materials to the job site whenever and wherever they might be? And like remembering important seasonal pre-order purchases such as overwinter film and ice melt, not to mention sourcing those hard-to-find tools and equipment. So how does Lenny manage to do it all so well? Right, a valued single point of contact, a solutions provider who performs as one source for all your tool, supply, and growing resource needs, an AM Leonard account manager. An AM Leonard account manager is an assistant, a partner who helps Lenny consolidate buying, find resources, streamline shipping, and overall simplify his tasks, saving him time and effort. All of this means Lenny has more time to focus on the big picture, his business. And that's exactly what he wanted.
We have all the mulch in place. We'd like to keep it there and keep it looking fresh for as long as possible. For that, I like to use mulch stabilizer from SRW. Mulch stabilizer contains a liquid bonding agent that locks mulch in place, yet it allows it to remain flexible and water permeable. This is a nice tip for landscapers out there. It's not really a service that a lot of landscapers have started providing yet. This is perfect for areas that might be prone to wash out after heavy rains or high winds. This is also ideal for beds that catch a lot of grass clippings, because you can actually come back with a blower and use that to blow the grass clippings out of the mulch bed without having to worry about blowing the mulch into the yard. So mulch stabilizer is great for pine straw, mulch. You can also use it on sand, dirt, and gravel drive areas to keep dust down. Mulch stabilizer is another product where you need to be weather aware when you apply it. Ideally, you want to have at least 24 hours without rain in the forecast so that the stabilizer can cure. And it needs to be applied when temps are above 50 for over 48 hours. Mulch stabilizer can be applied with any sprayer. It's safe for pets, it's safe for plants. You just want to avoid spraying the plants directly. And be sure to clean out your sprayer really well afterwards. So first things first, we're going to check some elevations of some of the existing hardscape features you see here. We'll use this smart leveler to check which way the porch is falling, if there's any fall in the porch, and we'll get an idea for how much fall we have in this wall behind us. And really we're going to be using this wall to determine the finished height of the paver. You have about an 8 or a 9 inch step. So if you think about the finished paver height being at this, it's about a 9 inch step. It's a little taller than normal. Usually it's a 7 to 8 inch is a normal step. So, but this works fine. So we're going to go ahead and use this and have the pavers end of this, and we're going to mark where our finished paver height will be around here, and use the smart leveler to help check the fall on some of these surfaces. So one of the really cool features about this, the new smart leveler, is it has a 0 function. We just turned it on, so you can hold this 0 button to set it to 0 wherever you need to. So we're going to set it to 0 on here, right up against the patio, because this will end up being our finished paver height. So there it's 0. So as we move away, I put a mark out here at about 6 feet, which will be where the pavers end. So you can see we're minus 1 7/8 inches at the end of the paver here. So that's about 1/4 of an inch per foot of fall. So we can definitely mimic that on this side. And so that's completely within a normal range of fall. We'll go ahead and check the porch to see how much it's falling, because we will want everything to look pretty finished and even that comes out away from it. This is a 9 inch step. We can measure 9 inches off the porch, mark there, and then we'll be able to snap a string line, give us an idea of that finished paver height. We'll do the same along that side. This is really going to come in handy when we have nothing to measure from out along the house to mark our finished paver height. You know, a good rule of thumb is to give yourself an extra foot. So we decided to do 6 feet off this way and that way, and then we'll have we're going to do a big rectangle detail in the middle to kind of give it a different dimensional architectural look. And so we're giving ourselves plenty of room. If it's going to come off 6 feet, you give yourself an extra foot for the excavation. So we have our general work area marked out here that we're going to dig out in preparation to bring in the gravel foundation. We're going to be using the smart leveler to check our elevation along the way, make sure we dig down enough, and have generally a good fall in the area we excavate to. Then we're going to get to the stabilization fabric, which is really important, and the permeable base that we're using for this project. So we're going to get to that here shortly. One thing to keep in mind, for those of you who are completely new or just getting into hardscaping, some things you learn the hard way when you start out. Things like this clay pipe down here, we're going to definitely want to be careful of that and be mindful of any other possible irrigation lines around the home. There aren't any here, but that's always something to keep in mind. And it's going to get a little messy before it starts looking good, but in this case they're going to be seeding, and we don't have to worry about damaging the turf too much. But we have some, A.M. Leonard has track mats available that ships direct from the manufacturer, so those are always good to have on site like this. You don't want to, obviously you want to keep as much as a good turf that'll be untouched. So you want to keep that as fresh as possible too. You don't want to end up having to go and redo any unnecessary work. So we're going to get started. All right, we're all dug out, got the soil excavated to the point where we're ready to start preparing the gravel foundation. We're almost ready to bring in our gravel base. Before we do that, I wanted to talk about the stabilization fabric. We offer a lot of SRW products, hardscape, adhesives, fabrics, GeoGrid. They're a proven brand, and this is particularly an ideal product. I personally think this should be used on every paver patio retaining wall hardscape feature. It improves longevity of the project drastically by separating the subgrade from the gravel base. It helps the project not settle. You're not going to have a big dive in the end of your patio by using this. It's going to support it evenly and really separate the subgrade from your gravel base. And it's really easy to put down. This is 12.5 by 27 foot, so that's just under 340 square feet of fabric right here. Fits great behind the seat of your truck. So for a small to medium sized patio, this is ideal. Just throw it behind the seat of your truck. This is a great product. We're going to use this staple these to pin it down, and you just want to pin it down and leave a little bit of an edge up around the outsides, and we're going to leave a little bit of an edge up against the porch here too, just to kind of gather up and collect that base and make sure it's supported through its lifetime. So. All right, so we got a bulk of the material, base material in. Now it's time to do some, just going to smooth things out with our grading rake here. And we're going to continue to check for any low or high spots that we're going to smooth out and get things really close to ready for screeding. So we want to get the base as close as possible before we throw our screed rails down and start that process. So it's just a little bit of checking, and we're going to use our grading rake and our smart level to check elevations and make sure everything is as close as possible. So since we're using a permeable base, a clean base, this material is 95% compact when you throw it down, but you still want to use a plate compactor to make sure you get through any of the soft spots in the subgrade. Everything gets compacted down and you get your base material level across it. So you can't really spend enough time on preparing the base. It's the most important part of any hardscape project. It's the most important part as far as longevity and really just the quality of the project you're putting down. So make sure you got a happy customer for years and years to come. So we're gonna, it looks like we got everything pretty smoothed out. We're gonna get the plate compactor down here and run it around. So now that we've got our base material down and we've checked it to get it roughly within 3/4 of an inch to an inch of where we want our final elevations to be, what comes next is a process called screeding, and as much as I'd love to say there was a product for this, the best way to go is just go down to your hardware store and get some 1/2-inch metal rails. It's just plumbing pipe, whatever you want to call it, and you want to make sure it's straight each time you use them. So this process is key to efficiently laying the pavers down. It creates a nice smooth surface using a smaller version of the base gravel. You're going to use in this application that we're talking about a permeable base. We're going to use they're called crushed angular 9s. So just like we use angular 57s that are permeable, and you can see how you can kind of see down in there. That means they're going to drain out well, and this is a clean crushed angular 9s. And what we're going to do here, since this is a good corner to start in for this application, because we don't want water stuck up against the house or up against the porch. So we want, if anywhere is going to be high, a little bit higher than normal on this patio, it's going to be this corner, because we want water to fall away from the porch and away from the house. So to give an appearance of a nice level step across the bottom of the porch, this rail is pretty much set level. It's pretty much set where it needs to be. So we've checked both ends of that. So basically what we're doing here is we're going to make sure that that end is just a little bit lower than this end. Like I said, we want it pretty level across the front of this porch so it has an appearance of a level step. But really what's key is we want this to be lower than this side, and we want that side to be lower than this side. So we've done a little bit of math, and we know roughly where we want, what measurements we want to pull off of each end here. So we'll show you a little bit of what we're working off of here, and then we'll show measurements while we check and set this screed level. So from there, we're going to dump a bunch of these 9s in here, and we're going to use our straight edge screed level to smooth the material and pull it back. And that's going to create a nice level surface here that has, or a nice smooth surface that has the fall it needs. And all we'll have to worry about at that point is just laying the pavers, and it's going to make it going to take a little bit of time here, but in the end it's going to improve the quality, and you're going to know that you have the right fall you need. So it's going to improve the longevity of the patio, and it's going to speed up the process of laying the pavers. So that's right where we want it. So if we want a level appearance across the front of this, so we're at 11 9/16, 11 5/8, so it's about right where we want to be on this rail. We want to get stuff moving this away from the house, if anything. So over here on this on the far rail, away from the porch, we did our math, and we figured we want this to be about 12 1/8, accounting for 1/8 of an inch per foot of fall. Takes us right here. So we're a little low. What we're going to do is just pick this rail up a little bit and let some of the 9s fall underneath, and that's going to help us set this elevation. So we're just kind of waiting for the level to settle in here. We're going to get a little more 9s down in here. So we're really close right there. I'd like it to be a little bit lower, so we just kind of work it down in the material. So we got 12 1/8, and accounting for the same amount of fall going this way. Let's say we want this elevation to be about negative 13, anywhere between negative 13 and negative 12.5. So we know they're both falling this way. They're falling away from the house and away from the porch and away from the house. So really these rails are set. Now we're ready to fill in the middle between these two rails and along the sides. And we're going to be using this screed level here to pull the material back, and it's going to create a nice surface for us to lay pavers on. All right, so we dumped our 9s in between the rails. I'm just kind of filling in where I see might need some extra along the edges. Because we do want it, we laid out to 7 feet, even though our patio is going to be 6. You'll see later when you lay the body of the pavers, you want to lay it a little bit over so that you can cut the detail in. So with that in mind, we're just pulling this material back and using our rails that we set to be our guide on final elevation. You will have bits of either it might be from where we're turning the compactor at, or just a little bit of a high spot in between. But you might have some of the base coming up through this. But as you can see, I got a little much here. We'll keep smoothing things out. And sometimes you gotta get your shovel out and move some stuff around. So we've got some base worked up in here, but all you gotta do is fill it back in and jump back up to that spot, smooth it back out. All right, so once you got everything smoothed out and screeded out, you just pick up your rails and fill them back in with some gravel, with some of the 9s. Done with this for now. Use our trusty square shovel. Start slowly filling stuff in, and then you can come back with the magnesium float. It's a good tool to smooth things out, or you can use something like this sand pole we have sitting right here. But just want to get close to filling this void. We wanted to start laying the pattern. We're going with the herringbone pattern here. It's pretty straightforward and simple to lay out. We wanted to start off of the porch here, so that if we started off the house, we didn't end up having to make a bunch of cuts around the end of the porch here. So if we have to make some cuts up against the house or up against the wall, I don't think it'll be a huge deal, but I think it'll do a lot for the effect of when you step out on the porch and look out on the patio, that it's coming off of this point. So we chose here as a good starting point for the pattern, and we started laying. We're using the string line, as you can see. We set a string line. We measured out to our to the house and to this wall to check that we are at roughly a 45 off of the tip of the porch here. So, and as you can see, each tip right here of our herringbone pattern is in line, is based off the string line. So that gives us, just kind of helps us keep an eye on our pattern. So here we go. All right. So we've laid our pattern out, and really the herringbone pattern that we decided to lay did us a couple favors here. Up against the house, it ended nice and even. We'll be able to do some half cuts here at the end of the pattern and up against the porch. So things worked out really well. We picked a good spot to end, so we'll only have to make some half cuts here. And now we're just cutting in our detail. We're going to cut around the edges so we can lay this our border in. We've got a brick colored Twinkie that we're using with a nice Holland paver that's the color is gonna last a lot longer compared to the body, so it'll give it a nice look. And so we got our Echo saw out here, really nice saw. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. It's got our AM Leonard blade on it, great for cutting pavers. One thing we did to mark, we just used our straight edge, and we found a good point in the pattern to make our cut, and we marked along that with a really nice carpenter's pencil here. We chose one. AM Leonard sells a red lead carpenter's pencil. The lead's kind of medium, so it's a lot like a crayon, and it does a really good job of marking these porous pavers. We're ready to cut. We're going to get the saw fired up and cut our border in. Alright, so let's talk about our diamond blades first. We've partnered with a company called Diamond Vantage, or a diamond blade manufacturer based out of California, to make our custom diamond blade. This is ideal for cutting pavers, cured concrete, medium, anything medium to hard material wise. They also offer a lot of great solutions for cutting green concrete, cutting tile, things like that, but we've partnered with them to make one that's perfect for hardscaping. It's a great general purpose blade, laser welded segments, nice thick segments. This is going to give you speed of cut and a lot of blade life. So I'm really been happy with the blade that we've worked with Diamond Vantage to have made for us. You're going to see it in action here in a second. So we have all our detail cuts made to our pavers. We're completely done laying pavers. It's looking really good. Everybody's really happy with how it looks. So now comes the finishing touches. We're about to put some paver restraints on. And typically what you would do is use some kind of plastic edging with a spike. In this situation, since we're using a clean 57's permeable base, we're going to use Perma Edge. And where this comes in handy with this type of installation is with the clean 57's, you don't really have anything to drive a stake into, so that's where this is essential. And this is an amazing product. You're gonna see that it cuts down installation time a lot. They say up to 90% in some situations. So a lot less to mess around with as far as, cutting the plastic edging and driving the spikes and making sure everything fits correctly. This, you just mix it up. It's a proprietary blend of concrete, but it is almost 700% more permeable than concrete, or more flexible. 700% more flexible, 40% more permeable than concrete. So the proprietary blend allows water to seep right through it. It doesn't hold any water. So and it creates this long-lasting edge that not only looks a lot better, but it's going to add to the life of the project. You're not going to have any more heaved edges. It's going to flex and move with the base that we put down. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to start mixing this up. Very cool thing about the Perma Edge mix is that 1 bucket of it mixes up perfectly with 1 gallon of water. So 5-gallon buckets worth, 1 gallon of water in there is going to make a perfect consistency. While they're mixing this up, I'm just going to go along the edges and pull back some of the nines till we hit the base. Give it so the Perma Edge goes from the base to about 1 inch below the pavers here, and that's going to create all the hold we need. It's going to give it a little extra room to go from the base because it's going to flex on top of the base, but it's going to hold the pavers in. So here in a second, the mix will be ready, and we're going to start dumping it along the edge, and I'll come by with the trowel again and just kind of make a nice 90. Just kind of make a nice 90 here to hold that pull the pavers in. Danny's just gonna keep the mix coming, and all we do is go along the edge with the trowel. Nice. A little more here. Yeah, just go ahead and press that right there. Cool. Yep. We just want to make sure it's up against the, about halfway up the pavers, really nice. And you're just troweling it on. All right. So we got that edge applied around the perimeter here, and ready for some finishing touches here. One of the last things you do is sweep in some sand. It has to be completely dry to do this, and that's going to fill the voids in between the pavers, make everything look really nice. We're just using a regular all-purpose sand. We're not going to use polymeric sand because this is a permeable paver project, so we want everything to drain really well. Especially if you're doing polymeric sand, you want to make sure there's no rain in the forecast and everything like that. But we're going to start by sweeping in some sand. We got our A.M. Leonard's 2824 broom here. It's great for fine materials like sand. It's an awesome broom for sweeping in paver sand. So we're going to work at that. We're going to get the sand most of the way in the joints here, and then we're going to use our plate compactor with the stamping pad on it to make sure everything gets down in the joints. Then if you need to, you come back with a little more sand on top after that. So while I'm doing this, we'll work at backfilling along the edges. Whether you're preparing to mulch around the areas or if you're flopping sod up to the patio here and turfed areas, whatever the application is, you want to bring that soil up, to the right height depending on what you're doing. So we're going to work on backfilling and sanding right now, and then this will be done. Alright, before I do anything, I like to walk around the property with the customer and have them show me what they have in mind, as well as pointing out any plants they want to have removed, or just letting us know what plants they want our team to be extra careful when we're working around. This is a great time to discuss reshaping beds, the services you'll provide, as well as talk about permanent edging options, gutter drainage, and any other general landscaping projects that could be done at a later date. Okay, so we've talked to the customer. They've given us an idea of what landscape beds they want redefined, what plants they want removed, a couple things to transplant. So first tool we're going to turn to for all these tasks is a spade. Before we even start unloading mulch here and hauling it across the property, we want to make sure go ahead and prep all the beds. So our spades are going to cover all the chopping, ripping out plants, edging. It's going to cover all those tasks. We have a variety of different spades to choose from here at A.M. Leonard. We have all steel spades, our tried and true strap spades, long handle options, D-grip, diamond point, or just industry standard straight edge. So a lot of options to choose from. We'll break them down so you know what features you want to turn to in the field. Let's start with our all steel line of spades. This is our best selling line of spades. They're at a great price point. They're dependable, made of heavy 12 gauge, all steel welded construction. It's a heat treated steel that offers excellent blade edge retention as well. So they're designed to last a lifetime of landscaping. They come with an industry standard 13-inch or 15-inch blade. It's a tapered blade with a machined edge, also available in diamond point options as well. While our all steel spades are great for outfitting your whole crew, they're dependable, great price point. I'm really excited to talk to you about our strap spades and just take a moment to appreciate this piece of American-made history. You can spot our strap spades in A.M. Leonard catalogs as far back as the 1920s. With well over 100 years of success in the green industry, this staple is exclusively available through A.M. Leonard. These spades are at a bit of a higher price point compared to our all-steel line. Our strap spades are manufactured right here in Ohio. This is excellent quality and peace of mind for anyone in the market for a spade. Right away, you'll notice the steel and wood lamination. This one-of-a-kind steam bit wood handle is at the core of our strap spades. Wood handle tools just have a certain feel. They're light, weight, they're comfortable. And in this case, our strap spades offer a bit of vibration dampening. We've all hit a rock in the ground or a root when digging with the all-steel spades. Very unpleasant. The wood core of our strap spade greatly reduces impact and can even, prevent injuries. So, here you have best-in-class comfort with the strength of an all-steel tool. The reinforcing straps welded at the blade. These are built with an industry standard 13-inch tapered blade available in diamond point and standard straight edge. The steel sections are made out of 12-gauge high carbon steel that offers excellent blade retention and strength. All of this is stamped and riveted around a wood handle. So this customer had a bed, they wanted some permanent edging installed around. I like to go ahead and install it before mulching. That way we get a nice clean finish to everything once we start putting mulch down. For this edging, I turned a bender board, which you'll see here is very quick and easy to install. So we're installing some bender board landscape edging. A.M. Leonard offers 50-foot kits. The bender board by Epic Plastics is a great landscape edging option. I like that it's recycled. It's eco-friendly and really sustainable process that they have for using post-consumer recycled plastic material to make a really high-quality landscape edging. So that's just cool in itself. And another reason to use it is that it's really safe for pets, and if you have kids that are running around barefoot in your yard and stuff like that, it really gives you some peace of mind that there's not a jagged, piece of metal edging sticking up. So it's really flexible, creates some really cool curves, has slip joints in it, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. It can be cut and assembled with just common woodworking tools. I have an impact drill and a circular saw that I use to trim this edge off. We're gonna set the first couple stakes here and take off with the rest of it. So I really like how this installs. Got my A.M. Leonard dead blow hammer here, and just going to drive this first stake in. The look we want to have is kind of matching up even with this wall, and we'll drive the stake down a little bit more. I like to get the stake a little bit installed and drill things in and then hammer the whole piece in. Each kit, 50-foot kit, comes with 5 10-foot pieces of edging per bundle and 20 stakes, so about 4 stakes per piece of edging. Here you see the slip joint, which is a pretty handy feature that Epic designed their edging with. We're going to put 2 stakes in right here. We're not going to drill the slip joint together. We want to leave about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch gap there to allow the edging to shift and not spike up out of the ground. So this is an awesome feature about this edging, because if you do get some starting to lift out of the ground with like a harsh freeze thaw like we have here in Ohio, you can always just come back with your mallet and tap them back into the ground and tap this even again. So really handy way they design their edging here. Forgot to mention the screws. We send a box, 1-pound box of decking screws to come with each kit, and that's what you use to fasten the stakes on. So Just gonna hammer it down so it's a little bit below grade. Take our fasteners. We know the mulch is gonna come up over the top of this stake, so don't waste any time installing the stakes. We're gonna end the curve into the house here. We wanna give it a nice curve. We're gonna angle it so it's easy to mow around. So I'm just gonna set it up here. We wanna use this end at the slip joint, obviously. But we're gonna mark how much we need. Then we'll flip it over to install it. So we're just gonna kind of set it in here like how we want it so we know how much we need, and Nate's gonna score it with his knife. Then we'll just trim that off. All right, before we start throwing mulch down, we just go and clean up the beds, get any existing weeds sticking up. A great tool to do that really quickly is our stirrup hoe. The 7-inch version is going to be most popular for landscaping tasks like weeding and clearing out beds. Some features about our stirrup hoe. You know, a lot of people, sometimes they wonder about it wobbling. So it does wobble. It's a 2-piece design that's bolted together, and it just hangs loose, and that allows the blade to stay at the proper cutting angle when you're pushing or pulling through the soil. And it also helps for different height users. 100% made in the USA. You know, we have a machine sharpened blade here that is replaceable. It's bolted on. We use a post binding bolt for the handle connection. Ash handle, a 60-inch ash handle. This tool is extremely lightweight and it's just effortless to use. Another tool I've found to be really versatile is our new 3-in-1 hauler. This sled is super tough, but more importantly, it's incredibly useful for a lot of different jobs. When we're out here mulching, before we get the wheelbarrows out and everything, I really like to tug this around with my weeding tools, and it's really easy to flip trash and weeds into this instead of working up into a wheelbarrow. So it's great for when you're edging and prepping the mulch beds. Also, as a hardscaper, it's excellent for mixing concrete, mixing mortar. It's a great mortar tray, and it's just nice to have something like this to haul some more cumbersome tools around the job site. Our 3-in-1 hauler features 5.5 cubic foot capacity, which moves plenty of material. It's got a tough, flexible polyethylene braided rope that won't rot. It's not going to let you down. The tray itself is made of a high molecular weight polyethylene, which is extremely durable, great UV resistant properties, and it's built to withstand all kinds of weather conditions. The 3-in-1 hauler, it's made locally right here in Ohio. It's designed to fit perfectly into our GW45 series utility wagons for even more versatility. Growers, landscapers alike, they need to haul a wide variety of materials: sand, dirt, gravel, mulch, concrete, you name it. This hauler can do it all. So to tell you a little bit more about our rake, we have these wire tine forestry rakes, and we just came out with a 10 tine version that is really popular for spreading mulch as well as scooping and raking, and this is really perfect for a bed like this when you're working in between plants. So we got 11 gauge tines on both our 22 tine and our 10 tine rake. We use the same heavy gauge bracket here and the same heavy duty gauge tine, so these can do a lot of bending before they're going to permanently stick out. And if you do ever snag one, it's really easy to just kind of pull it back in place. But yeah, I love it. It's great for scooping. and spreading, raking, all that good stuff. So try to do as much with as little as possible. It's another lightweight tool that I can stay standing, and yeah, just work with minimal tools on hands. Beds are prepped, we're ready to mulch. We're going to turn to some forks here to help us do that. You have two different types of forks here. You have your mulch mover and your mulch spreader. So generally speaking, mulching is a revolving two-step process from truck to wheelbarrow, wheelbarrow to bed. So usually on a normal sized property like this, you like to see 2 or 3 of our 8 cubic foot wheelbarrows and a combination of these forks here to help you quickly and easily get some mulch down. So let's talk about our mulch mover first. This is our AMF10. Landscapers mulching up to 100, maybe even more properties in a year. They need a dependable mulch mover. That's a must. Our AMF10 has some top of the line components, and it's assembled right here in Pickle, Ohio. The AMF10 is going to be ideal for efficiently transferring mulch from your truck to wheelbarrow. The one-piece forged steel head is extremely interesting and important piece of this tool. Each 15.5-inch long diamond-shaped tine is hand-drawn to forge this unique fork out of one piece of steel. Only one place in the world that makes this type of fork. It's out of Austria. This 10-time fork head is dished. This allows the AMF10 to scoop and hold mounds of mulch. Each tine is beveled, and it's really easy to pierce compact piles of mulch. It's got best-in-class scoop capacity and piercing. This one-of-a-kind fork head can only be found on A.M. Leonard and Razorback forks. We assemble this fork head onto an American ash handle. It's precisely press fitted together, adhesive, and we put a rivet in the handle to make sure that stays intact. This is a low repetition, high volume tool, so weight is hardly a concern, especially when you need a productive mulch mover that you can depend on year after year. Okay, so let's talk about the other end of the process. Once you have the mulch out of the truck into the wheelbarrow, you're going to run and dump most of your mulch around the property and just leave some big piles spaced out evenly to get you your coverage that you want. So that's where the AMF6 comes in. This is ideal for spreading, knocking down those mulch piles and spreading. And usually what we'll do towards the end is head back out with a wheelbarrow full in case we need any extra, and we're going to take our AMF6 around with us to start knocking down our mulch piles. Just like our AMF10, our AMF6 is made with top quality components, and it's all assembled right here in Ohio. It's also got a one-piece forged steel fork head that's going to last year after year, no welds to break. It's 6 tines, measures 10 inches wide. Each 12.5-inch long tine has a pointed end, and it's rounded, so it's going to pierce and spread the mulch easily. Okay, so we talked a lot about our forks, and we get that there's a lot of preference when it comes to mulching and a lot of landscape tasks. So some guys prefer to use a scoop when they're mulching, and it's definitely great to have at the end of unloading the mulch, because when you don't have a big enough pile to pierce a fork into. So scoops are great to have on hand. We have our aluminum scoop. This is really lightweight, assembled right here in Ohio. And you can't go wrong with this. It's going to last you all day, every day. And then we have our poly scoops. We have a variety of poly scoops. What's great about the poly tools is just how lightweight they are and how resilient they are. We're about to move some mulch, so let's talk about our wheelbarrows. A.M. Leonard offers a full line of wheelbarrows from 6 cubic foot poly or steel tray all the way up to our monster 10 cubic foot poly tray wheelbarrow. Poly trays are great for their durability, for being lightweight. Our trays feature thick poly construction that can really take a beating. We've actually dialed this in to have a perfect strength to weight ratio. Within that, we offer a wide range of options from flat free wheels, pneumatic wheels, to wood handles, steel handles, even a black tray option for our popular 6 cubic foot tray wheelbarrow. For this job, we're going to be using our 8 cubic foot wheelbarrows. I like the 8 because it's good balance between moving plenty of material and the maneuverability. Over the years, we've continued to improve our wheelbarrows. One of the latest improvements is the addition of a fully welded frame that fits under the tray of the wheelbarrow. This comes standard on all of our wheelbarrows. This angle iron frame ties the handles together, and this prevents any torque or twisting that's common on poly tray wheelbarrows when you have a heavy load in it. You'll notice a lot of other brands, if you have a lot of material in them and you're in an uneven area, you'll feel it shift, and it can almost sometimes lead to tipping the wheelbarrow. So this really improves the handling. Our wheelbarrows also have tubular steel tray supports in the front. These are more rigid and durable than the flat supports that are more susceptible to bending. From there, you can choose from steel handles, traditional wood handles. Your next options to choose from are flat free options for the tires or the classic pneumatic wheels. Both are professional grade with smooth riding bearings. We offer both wide and narrow tire options. It really comes down to preference. The wide tires, they do spread the weight more evenly, and they're great in soft areas, soft turf, so you're not going to rut up anyone's yard, while the narrow wheels are lighter and a lot more maneuverable. Our latest addition to the line is the optional nose guard, which gives you real peace of mind knowing that you or your crew aren't going to scratch up anyone's concrete or pavers while tipping the wheelbarrow. The last thing you want to deal with is damaging someone's hardscaping. Also, this durable poly material adds grip to the nose and offers a smooth rolling action while pouring heavy loads. It installs easily and lasts for years and years. Now, there's a lot of features that we didn't get to talk about on our wheelbarrows, but I will say that they do add up to the best wheelbarrow on the market. Most mulches out there will have some weed seeds in it. It's pretty much unavoidable. Most bulk mulch distributors store their mulch outside, and seeds just blow in the wind, find their way into the mulch, and so on. Customers don't really care how the weeds get in the mulch. They just don't like them. And if you're the landscaper serving this account, neither do you. So I like to use a pre-emergent called Snapshot, and there's also a pre-emergent called Propendi that does the same thing. Snapshot protects against over 100 different types of broadleaf weeds, annual grasses, and so on, killing them while they germinate, which prevents them from growing in your customers' freshly mulched beds. This is an easy add-on service. One 50-pound bag will cover an average of 15,000 square feet, so you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck and be able to treat a lot of properties. You just need to be weather aware before applying this. You actually are looking for it to rain after you put this down. We're expecting some rain right now. We're going to go ahead and throw it down. What the rain does is help activate the pre-emergent, and it's designed to work through a bedding layer of really any kind and get down to the soil and stop the weeds from growing. Once we have all the mulch in place, we'd like to keep it there and keep it looking fresh for as long as possible. For that, I like to use Mulch Stabilizer from SRW. Mulch Stabilizer contains a liquid bonding agent that locks mulch in place, yet it allows it to remain flexible and water permeable. This is a nice tip for landscapers out there. It's not really a service that a lot of landscapers have started providing yet. This is perfect for areas that might be prone to wash out after heavy rains or high winds. This is also ideal for beds that catch a lot of grass clippings, because you can actually come back with a blower and use that to blow the grass clippings out of the mulch bed without having to worry about blowing the mulch into the yard. So Mulch Stabilizer is great for pine straw, mulch. You can also use it on sand, dirt, and gravel drive areas to keep dust down. Mulch Stabilizer is another product where you need to be weather aware when you apply it. Ideally, you want to have at least 24 hours without rain in the forecast so that the stabilizer can cure. and it needs to be applied when temps are above 50 for over 48 hours. Mulch stabilizer can be applied with any sprayer. It's safe for pets, it's safe for plants. You just want to avoid spraying the plants directly, and be sure to clean out your sprayer really well afterwards. To put down our mulch stabilizer, you can use just about any pump sprayer, but we're going to turn to our new Pro 400 sprayer for this job. The Pro 400 is an 18-volt sprayer, so no pumping needed, and it will deliver all the pressure and range we could need for any job. Both our 1-gallon Pro 100 and our 4-gallon Pro 400 have 2-speed options to choose from. We may not get to all the features here, but these sprayers are truly designed for professionals. They feature metal fittings on all wand, hose, and tip connections. The sprayers come with multiple high and low flow tips. This 4-gallon sprayer comes with a telescoping wand that extends from 20 inches to 39 inches. They feature Viton seals that are chemical resistant, and a screen check valve, large filler port with a screen, and padded straps, really comfortable to wear. All the things you want to look for in a high quality sprayer. So as you can see, everything turned out great. Nothing like some nice edging and some fresh mulch to really set off a landscape. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We were really excited to be able to share some information about our tools and some tips. Really hope you found some useful information out of this that you can start applying in the field. We know that this is a lot of preference. There's a lot of different ways to do mulch a property. So if you want to share any of your methods with us, we always like to hear from a pro. If you have any questions that relate to our video, we'd love to hear from you. Be sure to send those in now, and we'll be back in the studio to answer.
Your average customer doesn't think twice about the poly over their heads when they walk into your greenhouses. Most people have no idea of the technology, time, and expense that goes into making and installing quality grow and overwinter films. But as growers, you know full well the poly you choose is among the most important things you buy for your business. Without the ability to carefully control the environment your plants grow in, your profits are at the mercy of Mother Nature. With over 20 million square feet of poly in stock, we're sure to have the type and size of poly you need to give your operation the best growing season possible. And because we house so much poly on site, we can custom cut to your required dimensions, wrap, and ship your poly fast. A.M. Leonard offers the very best in the industry with Giniger Grow Films. Giniger is at the forefront of developing poly films using 5-layer technology to meet the needs of your crop, ensuring higher yields for your growing and winter season. Our friendly staff is here to answer any questions you have and get your grow or overwinter film order out to you quick. Got a quote from another supplier? Send it to us and we'll beat it. There's no better place than A.M. Leonard to get your poly films.
All right, so we're here at Meadowview Growers in New Carlisle, Ohio, and I just wanted to talk about a couple different tools that you will definitely need before you go into the greenhouse, just some of our top maintenance picks. So the first one is our A.M. Leonard stainless steel hand shears. This is item number 3080, and they are handcrafted in Italy, made with Swedish steel, and this is an A.M. Leonard exclusive. Great thing about these is very compact, a little bit under 6.5 inches, about 1.5 inch blade. Just helps you get in those nice tight areas for deadheading, pruning, and those basic tasks. Another tool very closely related is our A.M. Leonard 1290 needle nose shear. Again, same kind of concept, but a little bit stronger blades. These are made with high carbon steel, high carbon Japanese steel. Stainless steel blade that's chrome plated for sap resistance, corrosion resistance, and helps prevent with rust. And this might be a good thing if you're doing a lot more volume cutting. That spring is going to take a lot of the load off of your wrist, off your hands. And then our last tool that you can't be caught without is our A.M. Leonard Deluxe Soil Knife. So, great thing about this, comes with a 6-inch blade made of stainless steel. This is made in Italy, and again, very tough blade. It can withstand 300 pounds of pressure, and it's also got a nice molded composite handle. Gives you that perfect, ergonomic fit. Whether you're pulling weeds, digging, transplanting, this is the perfect tool. And it also comes with, we've got a depth gauge on here to help you with your planting or even with your spacing. Along with that, some other features are the twine notch over here on the side for cutting twine, bales of straw, things like that, and then a nice aggressively serrated edge for cutting open bags of soil, digging through roots, and some of those other tasks.
So right there, we have 3 or 4 different entry points probably. We're able to get this thing up. Just use your leverage too.
Hi, I'm Nate, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Arbor Rain tree hydration system.
Unlike hoses that only water in one small spot, resulting in poor coverage and a lot of evaporation loss, and sprinklers that waste water by too much coverage and a lot of evaporation loss, the Arbor Rain hydration systems by A.M. Leonard deliver water right where it's needed, slowly allowing for deep watering and proper uptake by plants and trees, all while drastically reducing evaporation. Setting up the Arbor Rain is easy. Simply place around the base of your tree, being sure to leave easy access to the fill port. Secure in place with the built-in Velcro strap that prevents blowaway when the hydrator is empty. To fill, simply unscrew the twist-off cap and insert a standard garden hose. Once full, replace the cap and step back knowing that the slow-release emitters beneath are doing their job. Now your new tree or transplant is getting the water it needs to grow strong.